Good evening, everyone. It's 1 minute after 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Welcome, Dadman Walking 55 here with you tonight. Well, last week we had the preview kickoff show for the SEC 2023 season. Well, guess what? Tonight we have our first week of games. Technically, last week was what they call week 0. Yes, this is some stupid stunt that was created a few years ago by I think ESPN and all the conglomerates. And last week they really had no games worth a damn. Yeah, the best was probably Navy and Notre Dame and Ireland, and that was a one-sided route. But hey, I digress. We are here tonight. Thank you for everybody that are here. Stay with us. Appreciate you being here. Have fun with us in the chat. The purpose of this show is football review. Give me a chance to talk about the 2023 season coming up, specifically my Gators and teams in the Southeastern Conference, and keep college football alive. But, it's beyond that. It's also human interest stories. We got weeks of guests lined up this year like we did last year. We're going to find out what football meant to them, their football memories, if they had any, or we'll find out anything where we go in the matter of our conversation. So with that, let me introduce to you a fine friend to this channel, one of the most amazing supporters anybody can have anywhere. She's involved in so many channels. Definitely co-host with her son on his Twitch channel. A lady of elegance and class that brings definitely a step up in this channel where with people like the missus and this lady around. I've got to up my game. It is the one, the only, the great, incredible cat herself, Daisy Blossom. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, friend. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. Could you check the private chat, please?
Okay. All right.
I'm
yes.
sorry. Yes, welcome everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it still doing that?
Yes, and it wasn't before the stream, so I'm not sure if it's me or you.
I don't know. It could be because we had a train wreck earlier today when I was with Hungry Boy. There was a lot of echo throughout the chat. So if you're in the chat and if you hear, hey Penny, thanks for the like. Yay, good to see you. I saw that real quick. So chat, if you're hearing echo, let me know. If not, Daisy, hopefully it goes away. But I know we had problems with echoes and actually other channels bleeding through on my channel.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Man, I've gone through every setting I can go through.
All right. Well, you see what you can figure out. Play with it. Let me greet the chat real quick while we have got here. Of course, we got the Snorta Bear himself, Snorta Poopus Cooper, saying hello, humans and other critters. Snorty, hopefully you're doing well and the rain's not too hard yet down there. The missus is here. Somebody might guess, Daisy Blossom Flower Child. Hi, Castle, hell all to you, sir. Yes, you are not last. You're here exactly on time. Hopefully you're doing well, hunkered down tonight. My goodness, and Jess is here. SBD girl, good to see you, my friend. You're putting the links out. And hello to Miss Martin Muses. A guest on a recent Chilling With stream. Wonderful conversation. Wonderful adventure she's been on around the world, definitely. And Penny is here. Good to see her hanging around. And let's see. All right. That's what we got in the chat. We got 8 wonderful people with us tonight, hanging out with us. We're going to talk some Southeastern Conference football and even a little bit more about football in general with this tonight. But Daisy, what I usually start off with a little bit is talk to the guests, a little chit chat. How have you been doing? What type of things have you been up to lately?
Not much. It's very, very warm here right now, so we're hoping that goes away. And
I'm
sorry.
Is the echo still bothering you?
Still echoing. So yeah, it's okay. I just need to get used to because.
Let me try something. To see if this echoes. You tell me if it still echoes. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I tried muting my mic. See if
It stopped.
okay, then I'll have to mute my mic.
It didn't.
Yeah, but see, I got my mic in muted right now. This is weird because I've never had this setting, this problem happening, and I've got the same settings. Hmm.
Yeah, I know. I and
So
it wasn't doing it before the stream.
in the
Yeah,
chat is
and the
saying,
stream, I'm the only one that can hear it. So
okay, all right. Well, we'll work with that. So it's been
we'll work
interesting.
through.
Yeah, and Snort Poop is not much so far. May have around a heavy winds and rain as evening progresses. Puke energy will drop our power.
Yeah.
Ask Snort Poop is about his power company. He will. One of the famous.
Now, fortunately for us, our power company is really good, and we rarely lose the power.
Mhm.
However, if an electrical storm takes out a transformer, there's not a lot they can do. So
That is an interesting story. That
what?
is an interesting story because a while back, let me do something Dadman adventuresome. Since we don't have a lot of games to talk about football, there was just something that came up in a recent stream, and I
Hmm.
want to, I want to, I want to hit this really quickly.
Of
So,
course.
folks, if you're not into football but you're here to say hi and all, I got something that's definitely not football. If I can find
American football.
American football, yes, I know Miss Martin Muses loves her world football. So we actually talked some women's World Cup um, recently.
I know I
See,
was rooting for the British women. I mean,
yes,
congratulations to this Spanish team, but I was really wanted the Brits to
yes,
win.
yes. So, hey, oh shoot, oh shoot, sorry, something popped up. Are you there,
American
Merkin?
football.
Okay. Well, what we usually do is we play a game called "We're in the USA." I don't know if you were there that night, but
Oh,
we
yes,
had
I
one.
was. I
You
was
were here for
terrible
this
at
one.
it.
Okay.
Terrible.
Well, instead of us playing it like that tonight, you talked about the Transformer. One of the stories that
Yes.
we dealt with that night was entire New Jersey town without power after bizarre animal falls from the sky and destroys Transformer.
Okay.
Yes, and a fish dropped out of the sky by its bird captor caused a power outage in a section of homes in a New Jersey town. Uh, the fish destroyed the transformer. So it was a bird of prey
Wow.
caught the fish, dropped it into the transformer, causing the damage. Uh, and they suspected it was an osprey, so or known as a seahawk.
Mm, yeah,
So
that would make
this is
sense.
a little bit what they did here with this here for this news story here is they did this. I'm going to bring this up and share it. The police had a little bit of fun with this one
Mhm.
because there's a crime scene.
You know what they need though is the little outline around the fish,
Yes,
the little
yes,
dead body
exactly,
outline.
exactly, exactly. B from O's here. Hey, B from O, good to see you. Oh, all right, and Masters, good to see you. I've heard that you brave guys wanted to explain college football to a German. Here's Peep. Okay, hey, if you got questions, I got answers. So, and Snorta Poopa says the frying fish. Yes, exactly what we've got there. Hey, but it gets better than there. They even had a
Yeah, they cooked
suspect
it.
sketch. Yeah, but
Oh
they also had a
no.
suspect sketch.
I love it.
That's an
At
osprey.
least someone has a sense of humor about it.
Exactly. So hey, well, we try to make football fun around here, but when you talked about Transformers and the health of Transformers, that was the first
Mm,
thing I thought of was that story that we had.
I shall remember that the next time one goes out. I'll go,
Mm-hmm.
okay, even though we're in the middle of a desert and we have neither that fish nor an osprey, but it could be a pigeon. A pigeon could drop something on us.
Yeah, well, we know what pigeons usually drop, but it can always be something else. You
Oh
never know.
God, yes. They
My
love the next door neighbors back. I mean, not next door, the behind us neighbors backyard.
mhm.
The pigeons love their house. It's like, oh. Guys,
I don't
go
doubt it.
away. Find some other house.
Yeah, I think of them like the seagulls in Finding Nemo. Mine, mine.
Oh, seagulls are
So,
mean. I
oh
lived
yeah,
in around, the bay and the ocean.
uh-huh.
They have no scared. They will take food straight out of your hand on the
Oh
way to your
yeah,
mouth.
absolutely, absolutely. And see, Masters comes in with a, hey, the Dolphins NFL. He said the Dolphins let that fish when they returned to space. That's what he's heard. And Wade is here. Wade says Dadman needs waffles. Maybe so tonight. I don't know. So far we've had nothing up here, and let's hope it stays that way. But you'll know when the Waffle House closes. They're closing our Dairy Queen at 7 o'clock up here tonight. Um, looks
Oh,
like the
the
storm.
dolphins. The other
Mhm.
thing is the dolphins were, I believe you're, sorry, let me think of the word I've lost. Don't forget to take your towel. The dolphins
Mhm.
comment is from, oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Universe. Do you know that? Um,
I've not read it. I've watched the movie.
oh, the movie, yes. So the dolphins, when the Earth is going to get taken out, the
Mhm.
dolphins say goodbye and thank you for the fish,
Oh, okay.
and then they go back to space.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, hey, this is the. I didn't know that. Hey,
It's
we came for
sci-fi, and I'm
football, and
not
now we got
explaining it
sci-fi
right.
breaking out. No, you're doing great. I'm sure. I, no, guys, Snorter Poopa says, take your towel and have your babble fish handy. Uh, and Beef from O says, it's bad when a fish takes out your power grid. No EMPs needed. Just fly and drop some trout. Well, better dropping trout than dropping
Snort
your trousers. So, hey, we're all good.
Snortopoopas, if you'd like to arrange for a flying bear to drop a seal on our transformer, that would be interesting.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Master said, today I found a Super Bowl shirt from 2009 from the Steelers. Has all their titles and even the rings on it. I thought this is neat.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
neat. That is neat if you can get something that old, back
Yeah, and
there
that
from
it's still
2009.
it hasn't been washed too many times and you can wear
Mm-hmm.
it. Cool.
Oh, like $1.50. Okay, cool. Hey, that's cool. Hey, even better.
Nice.
Talking about one of the great NFL franchises of all time, it is the Steelers. Even though as a Cowboy fan, I hated them because they always kept beating the Cowboys in the playoffs in the Super Bowl. That was the worst.
The Cowboys.
Yeah,
Eyes
uh,
rolling.
I know. I love you, Daisy, but yeah, we're gonna have to agree. We're gonna have to disagree vehemently on the Cowboys Niners. I
Yeah,
know,
I know.
I know. But if that's the worst we disagree on, hey, I'll take it any day.
Hey, it's just a game, no worries.
Exactly. Well, normally what it happens at this point of the show is after some small talk, we're about 15, 20 minutes in. Folks, for you new that have not watched any of ours last year, was that at this point we would go into a week in review of last week's action. Well, since I focus on uh,
I'm
B
sorry.
from O, no B from O, can Alabama have a starting QB drop from space? I don't think they have one yet. Well, if you go back and watch my special last week, I pick LSU to win the West because I don't trust Alabama's quarterback situation. We saw Jalen Milroe last year, could not throw the football. Unless they get a quarterback that can throw the ball consistently in a big game against real teams, but don't count Alabama out and Nick Saban. They, you know, just don't count them out. What I saw last year did not impress me, but you never know. So, and see, Master said, I did like the Vikings. God knows why, but I always wanted a jacket and still want one. Well, the Vikings have a
My
good logo.
stepmom
Mm-hmm.
my stepmom's a diehard Vikings fan, and she and I commiserate when my Niners are playing terrible.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Hey, we're in a college football show and then NFL breaks out. I'm all for it.
Of
Let's do it.
of
Hey, we
course.
got Jess now. As long as we all agree Green Bay sucks, I'll be happy. I agree as a Cowboy fan because they keep beating the Cowboys in the playoffs.
My husband is a Bears fan.
The Bears. All right.
Da Bears.
We got Bears fans and Bears in our chat. So we got
I
10 of you
know.
wonderful, great people hanging out. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe or still subscribed. I hit 447 today, came back on. I'm back at 446.
Oh
YouTube's a
no.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But hey, we're going to have fun. I'm really happy having this many people on a Tuesday night when we've had to reschedule this a couple times because with as people know that there's a hurricane approaching Florida, predicted to be a major hurricane. So keep in
Yep.
touch with your the National Hurricane Center and your weather services for the official information on any of that. I like hurricanes. I like talking. Well, I don't like hurricanes, but I like talking about them and stuff like that. But I'm not official and all that stuff, so I leave it to the professionals when it comes to that. But we've had to move around. Normally, the show will be on Thursday nights, but I try to accommodate with the guests. And Daisy does some streaming on Thursday nights, and then we were going to do it tomorrow night, but with the timing of everything, we pushed it tonight. So thank you all of y'all that are here. Star Poopa says the Bears will never have a good year until they have some rear Bears on the team. There you go.
Are you volunteering, Snorter Poopus?
I bet he is.
What position?
Probably the whole defensive line.
The whole defensive line is what I'm thinking. Yeah. You just bare those teeth and the other team is running away.
Oh man, that is oh wow. See, Master said you should have my Baltic Hurricane scarf. It's the only memorabilia I have from the German American Football League. Hurricanes are from Kiel, the most northern capital. Interesting.
I didn't even know the Germans had an American Football League.
There was a few years ago.
European one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the teams, I think it was the French team, was called the Monarchs, as in the butterflies, and their uniform was terrible.
Yeah, we know Bears run faster than people expect. Yeah, exactly. So
yes, they do.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see real quick, because like I was saying, is we don't have as many games to review this week. Because it was week 0 and there was only one game involving an SEC team. So I wanted to, let's see, we're in League of American Football. I'm going to bring this up real quick and see, because I'm just curious to see what we've got. London had London and Frankfurt, Barcelona, London Monarchs.
Yeah, London had a team too. I can't remember what they were called.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do all that. And of course, I picked an article that didn't have all the teams like listed out. So it was wow. Okay, here we go. Let me move this to the other tab real quick. You there? Okay. I'm always
I hear you, Master of Mechanic Mexico. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly, Stalker. No goals. No, exactly. It's just kicking all around.
The people in charge of the whole soccer thing are just annoying.
Yeah. Here's the thing: is the first WLA of teams were played March 23rd, 1991. Now it may be a different league because they've had different leagues, but I know there's a League of American Football. Started with 10 teams. They had London Monarchs, Barcelona Dragons, Frankfurt Galaxy.
London was the Monarchs.
Yeah, the 91 team, the other non-American team was Montreal Machine. And then in the U.S., they had Raleigh, Durham, Sacramento, Birmingham, New York, New Jersey, San Antonio, and the Orlando Thunder.
Sacramento, Sacramento, California? I did not know
Sacramento
that.
Surge, 1991. Yep. But that was the World League of American Football. So, all righty. Well, we're going to move on. So basically, folks, this, like I said, this is the part where we end up starting to talk about games. We review last week's episode, last week's game. Choose the right colors. Yeah, exactly. That's what parents and uncles do to the youngsters, is train them right. So, all right. So exactly, train them early. But listen, folks, what we do in here is when we get to the pick section later, everything we do here is for fun, friends hanging out, doing stuff together. this another StreamYards thing that we're having is this delay on my computer. The Missus does not have this delay I have because see, it's like, ugh, stop this. Is it up there yet? Yeah, thank you. Finally, jeez. But anyway, we are not a gambling website. Do not use us for gambling. This is just for informational and fun purposes. Because if you saw as bad as I pick sometimes, yeah, you're responsible for your own losses. You do not want me to, you know. Yeah, actually, it was funny when I was a teenager. Some people used my picks and went the other way on purpose. So
That's mean.
but hey, it's what it is. If you're not accurate, oh, so you're just unlucky. But anyway, folks, there's the thing. It's not a gambling website. We're just having fun talking about football. And as I said, we have one game from last week. This for week 0. It's the great game between Hawaii and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt in the Southeastern Conference opens up the year with a win at home this time. Last year they played at Hawaii with a runaway route victory against the Rainbow Warriors, and now much closer game this time in Vanderbilt, which was a little bit of a surprise. Hawaii coming off another really, really, really bad year, and but now Timmy Chang, a former record-setting quarterback for the University of Hawaii, is now head coach there. So when we look at the stats, we've got, it's really a contrast to last year's game where it was one-sided. Vanderbilt put up tons of offense. This year it's a much different story because Hawaii out got more first downs, outgained. Vanderbilt had the ball more time of possession, but they did commit two turnovers that they had there. Both picks from their quarterback Braden Shager, who was 27 of 35 on the game for 351 yards, threw for 3 touchdowns, but had 2 interceptions. So, yeah, which interceptions will definitely kill you. So in these games. So.
Oh yeah. You have to learn which team you're supposed to throw the ball to.
Exactly. It happens. Oh man,
I know. I understand.
No, I was merciful. Last year, the Gators quarterback last year was so bad. He handed the ball to the freaking Kentucky guy and said the 10-yard line. It was like gave him a free touchdown. Then another pass he threw to the complete opposite side of the field. He stood there like 10 seconds looking at one receiver on the other side of the field. Even I could have run in front of the guy and picked off that pass and run it back. I mean, he telegraphed it so bad.
Wow.
So anyway, but with Hawaii and Vanderbilt, no running game, which is a contrast for this team. Usually they run the ball a bit, but 258 yards passing. AJ Swan is in a sophomore year for 19 of 30 for 258 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's my typo in there because I inputted that, so that's my fault. Will Shepard for Vanderbilt had 6 catches for 68 yards, and I did not catch my own edit. Wow, dang. Dadman. So hashtag blame Dadman on that one. So it's all good. The key turner in the game was Jaden McGowan for Vanderbilt. Returned a kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown. And and that was nice. Hawaii ended up okay. What are these damn coaches? Excuse me, Daisy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
That's okay.
Cuss,
no worries.
But I'm looking at this. I'm looking further into this game as to what happened. Vanderbilt scores a touchdown early in the game, but instead of the coaches just kicking a single extra point, for some reason they're running for 2 points. That's a trend that started happening in the NFL and in college football, where early in the games these coaches are going for 2 points for no reason.
Yeah, the 2-point conversion thing. I've noticed that a lot in the NFL.
It's just like you only do it in the fourth quarter at the end of the game if you had to. But so Vanderbilt fell behind 7-6. Hawaii scored the next possession. Then the next kickoff was returned by McGowan for 97 yards for a touchdown. So it was quite an interesting game. Vanderbilt pulled it up to 21-7 at halftime, a 21-14 game. Hawaii Vanderbilt extended the lead in the third quarter to go up actually 28-14, scored the first time in the fourth quarter, had a 35-14 lead, but this game ends up with a Hawaii rally, 2 touchdowns, but falls short. Vanderbilt takes the win at 35-28 with that. So it's yes, I know. That's me. This is a yes, a Castle, the dadmanest of days. Yes, it truly is. Because I was like Master said, I'm telling you, Daisy, last night's Fortnite stream was playing nonstop in my ears when I was with Hungry Boy, and I'm sitting there. Do y'all hear that? No, nobody heard it. But I closed every tab known to man.
Yep.
Until
I have everything off and it's still doing it, so I have no clue.
No, this was like last night's stream talking to me. It wasn't even an echo. It was a completely different stream.
No, this is an echo.
Oh well. And then and then Hungry Boy on his side had another stream volume coming through. It was a bizarre day.
Yep.
Hey, Swear's the best part of talking sports. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So Vanderbilt gets off to a good start this year. With 1-0, this is a game that they need to do. And as I said in a preseason preview kickoff, that they need to win these non-conference games if they're going to have a chance to win 6 games and go to a bowl game. But we shall see. Daisy, I know you probably don't know either about one of these teams, but any observations or any thoughts that you might have with this?
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
all prayers for Hawaii, because Maui has had a terrible time.
Yes, they definitely have, bad situation over there. Very, very bad. Yep. All right. So this is what we do. This ends this part of the show, this segment. So now what we do at this point, then is we talk to the guest. Daisy.
Yes.
Your experience with football. I mean, what's your experience with football? Do you have much experience with college, or is yours mostly NFL?
It's almost entirely NFL. I have watched, a few college games here and there, but not much. But that's okay. You can educate me on the differences between the two. I'm up for it.
Well, don't you have some of your family? Isn't there a Nebraska?
Yeah, the two colleges would be
because I was going to ask what favorites. Yeah.
Yes. So my grandmother was the first woman in our family to graduate from college, and that was from Nebraska, Omaha, the Cornhuskers.
Lincoln,
I can't remember.
Nebraska, Lincoln,
Nebraska. Yeah, sorry, not Omaha. Yeah, so that would be so she rooted for them, and also Notre Dame, because that would be the Fighting Irish, and that side of my family is Irish. And then my father graduated from Cal Berkeley, and he was on the track team. Didn't play football. I mean, he played football when he was younger, because everybody did, but so those two teams we sort of root for.
Yeah, so you
I graduated
three
too, but
teams.
my college didn't have those kind of sports.
Yeah, so you really have 3 of them though. Notre Dame.
Well, yeah, but
Lincoln,
but our
Nebraska and Cal.
true. It would be yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting combination of teams, though. Independent, well, now Big 10 used to be Big 12 and and Pac 12. Weird combination.
Yeah, see, I don't know all those things. I just know the names. Those were the 3 teams.
Yeah, I know. But that's awesome, though. It's kind of cool that you have something like that kind of family connection with that. We got 13 people watching us tonight. This is amazing. Thank you, guys. And my great leadoff batter this year is Daisy Blossom, coming in with our first week of this football show. So, and Daisy, like I said, Pac-12 to get that kind of spread. I could understand like Nebraska and Notre Dame, but then to have Notre the Pac-12 thrown in there with Cal and Stunning's here. Sorry, Stunning. Good to see you. Hey, good to
Yeah,
see you.
so is the
Oi.
real Wade.
Yeah, and Wade. Yeah, I
Oi.
think I saw Wade earlier. Yeah, Wade. No, not that bad. I'm not that quite bad. But hey, we got 14 people. Make sure you smash that like button. Sub if you haven't, because weird things are happening out there. And Notre Dame. There you go. That's an interesting spelling. But hey, but Daisy, I just find that's what to me is kind of good with college sports, especially is that it's that pride, it's that that family pride. Somebody goes to this school, so then you kind of get some allegiances to it. Um,
A lot
did
of
they?
families, like multiple generations, will go to the same college.
Mm-hmm, yeah, yeah. It becomes when they start one place, then everybody generation to generation attend that same college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, my kid went to a cheaper public
Yes,
school than I did, and that was much more affordable, and it was
I can
great.
understand that one.
Exactly. So did your family members, with those schools, were they into the football, or was it just kind of like a loose? Here's, was it
Well,
a casual
when my
cheering?
grand when my grandmother was going, I suppose they went to the games. She was more into it later as she got older. And as I say, my dad was into track and field. So, and we're more into basketball than football. So we did watch the Cal Bears play basketball.
Mm,
Um,
oh man, oh
but my
man.
dad is the reason I'm into the 49ers. That it's my
Uh,
dad's fault. Yeah.
Well, that's okay. I want to explore on that, my friend, in a minute. So, but
Uh-huh.
I am going to do something dangerous.
Uh-oh. Are you
I'm
going
going,
to wing it?
yes, I am going to try to wing it.
Okay,
And
chat. Everybody pray.
so you'll have to run a stream if I blow this up, Daisy. Okay?
Oh, we're in trouble now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm going to do something because I've done it before on another stream and nobody said anything. So I'm going to see if I can get away with it again. And I wanted to do
Okay.
this, and you may remember this. I'm curious to know if you remember this, folks. There you go, Stunning. There you go. Like I need, I like danger.
Uh-huh.
The University of South North Carolina Hoopleco Prairie Dogs. Yeah, they're playing prairie dogs up there. Pass a hole in your butts, people. All right, now let's see if I can pull this off. Let's see. Do you remember anything about Cal, and Stanford? They were rivals. I wish Buddy and Brian Hepburn were here tonight. Uh,
Yes.
Okay, this was a hated rivalry, correct?
Yeah, because they're reasonably close to one another, and one's on the peninsula, which is now called Silicon Valley, and the other one was in the East Bay, kind of like the Raiders and the Niners.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because usually you wouldn't think a private school and a public school would necessarily be a rivalry, but this goes back a long time. And remember, folks, if you were with us a while back on one of the chill streams where we had the most ugliest mascots, and Daisy, if we have time, I might go back to that too when we get through the games, just for the fun of it. But we'll see what happens with this. But you know this play, don't you? Oh, you may not, but oh, come on. Delay, delay, delay. Come on. Come on, people.
Uh-oh.
Come on, stream. Yeah, it's this stupid three thing that StreamYards. It doesn't happen on the missus computer, but it does mine. So come
Mm.
on. Come on. This was John. I think John Elway was a senior that when this happened, this game happened. All right. So all right.
I
Do you
can see
remember
it.
this one? All right. So let's do this. Let me go full screen with it. All right. So, folks, I'm going to talk over it and be transformative and everything else because, folks, this is for public use and stuff. This is highly entertaining, and I am going to be creative with this because this is one of the greatest football plays of all time that you really can't talk college football without this. Since
Oh
my good
God,
friend
I
Daisy,
remember this play. Yes,
yeah, you
yes.
remember this one? This was
Oh
like on,
God.
yeah, because see, we got
Mhm.
there near the 50-yard line. There's a lateral. There's a lateral. And she's
Oh
right
no,
there.
this is a different
Kyle's,
play. Sorry.
oh, well, the bunch of people right here. Oh, barely off
Mhm.
the ground.
Yep.
That's the spot where people thought he was down.
Yep.
And there was
Yeah.
also controversy on that. You remember?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
because it did look like he was down, and they don't have as many cameras to replay things. So,
yes. And look, even the one official to the right's kind of like standing there like, he almost
yeah,
like, he
what's
thought,
happening? Why are we
yeah.
still playing?
All right. So then we got there. We go here. And there's another lateral. And I'm
Mhm.
probably pausing so much more than I have to,
Yeah,
but I'm
it's
trying to
fine.
be good for the Galactic Overlords because this is entertaining. And you remember Stanford. Remember what Stanford was famous for? Not just that dumb tree mascot, but the hippie band with
The
the
hippie
weird hats
band.
and the red jackets. Well, you'll see them.
No.
You'll see them here. All right. Cal's coming down a little bit there. And he just
This is
blindly,
what okay,
he
yeah, this
just,
is the play. The Stanford marching band.
yes. You see, the guy just threw the ball behind him blindly. Tackle. This was the biggest tackle loco play in college football history right here. Throws it behind blindly. And look, the guy's got one Stanford player ahead of him, two blockers, and the Stanford band.
Yes, yeah. Well,
Just,
win it any with any way you can.
oh, but here's the classic. We talk about Wild World of Sports and Day of Infamy of the guy flying off the ski ramp. How about this one to the saxophone player?
Yep. Get
Boom!
out of my way.
Oh, my friend. That was the Cal Stanford ending, my friends. So, hey,
Yes. I
so I
remember
just had
that.
to I just had to share that as, and folks, this is completely impromptu because that was like, now that you remember about Cal, you can't talk Cal football without that. It's one of the great
They
great
played that
to
on the
play.
news over and over and over, and I'm like, okay, having been in a marching band, I'm like, what were they thinking?
Back at the 50-yard line. They thought it was down, it was over. How many times have you
Yep.
seen people storm the field and the game's still going? Oh my gosh! But everybody played. This was so famous, so often that just, I mean, just blind luck, and some of those were just no look pass backs that the guy happened to be there. So, oh my goodness, folks! But hey, like I said, I've shared this on another stream. I've talked enough over it. So, and if the Galactic Overlords, well, we'll see what happens. But hey,
I didn't even hear it playing, so that I
well,
think
that's
we were
okay. That's
fine.
okay. Well, really, this one's more the video than anything else to
Yeah.
me. So, it's all in basically what you see. That not the
The
not
people
not the
calling
audio.
the game were like pretty funny too. Just trying
Yes,
to be professional while the marching band is out on the field.
yes, yes. Oh man. And Stunning says they should make a sport combining hockey with football, and they call it hockey.
Oh God, no.
Well, I will say, hey, we have an arena football team, indoor football. I've always said
Uh-huh.
it's I knew the first time I went to a game, Ang would love it. And I took Ang. We had season tickets for a number of years because they had nets. They had
Uh-huh.
nets up of where the balls could bounce off, and it would be live.
Mhm.
It was a combination of football, hockey, because they used the boards from hockey, not the
Yep.
glass, but just the lower boards, and WWE because it was loud rock and roll, screaming, pyrotechnics type of in-game experience. So
Mhm.
you know. And then Master said, "Done, fantastic idea. Tomorrow we'll run and found the first Mexican hockey league. Nothing's gonna stop us. Go for it." That's what we said. So that way, that clip was transitive and informative. So, oh
Mhm.
my gosh! But say, hey, that's got to be a great memory. So you lived out there at the time when that play happened, right?
I'm sorry?
You were residing out there, so you're familiar
Correct.
with that play when it happened, and you talked about the newscasters. What was it like? Do you remember much talk? How much buzz that play generated?
Oh, a lot. And Stanford has kind of this how do I explain it? It costed a great deal of money to go to Stanford, and they have
Mhm.
this beautiful campus. Although Cal Berkeley's is beautiful as well, but to have the upper class la-di-da team be the one that messed up was funny.
Especially with Elway, John Elway.
Mm-hmm.
Never
Mm-hmm.
mind. I cannot stand it. What he did to Tebow in Denver is like, but that's a different story. But yeah, I mean, the guy that would refuse to play for the team that drafted him too, And anyway, long
Well,
story.
yeah, I mean, first he threw the interception, and then the band went on the field when they
Yeah.
ought not to have.
Well,
So it was just this.
yep. We'll
It
see.
was funny.
It was hilarious. Stanford
Yep.
takes the lead on the kickoff, then just squibs. See, that's also a technical play that people like me don't like with old school. Old school, just kick the dang ball deep, kick it deep, make them run through. There's
Yeah.
always a risk they
Your
can run it
defense.
back, but they've always had this thing about, well, there's a few seconds left, we're just going to squib it. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
doesn't
squibbing's
always
not the
work.
thing. Nope, nope. Oh my gosh. Hey, we got a great conversation out here in the chat about Faki now. Hey,
Be very
Castle,
careful
Castle. I know. Hey,
how you say that
Castle,
thing.
since you're a mod, tweet that one out. Say, come, listen to the Faki talk. So,
Mm.
oh,
I wonder what
man.
sort of team names we'd come up with,
Yeah,
without
yeah,
offending anyone, of course.
yeah. Stunning and Masters. It's y'all's job now. Well, I guess Masters, since he's the lead director, to come out with some Faki teams now that you got.
Mm-hmm.
So, but on that note, we will. Oh, there you go. Yes, sir. Good to see you, sir. All right, and then definitely a distraction. So I take it. Hopefully everything's good down where you are, Castle. I appreciate you being here. This involved. I'm hoping that things are going good for you. That
Don't read
things
that
won't
out
be as
loud.
bad. Exactly. You're just fucking around. Enunciation is key.
Very. Mm-hmm. Proper
Mhm.
enunciation.
Which then takes me back to, so we'll move from college because we talked about your college experience and stuff, and then we'll bring in the NFL. Because a couple questions, and we can, some of the standard questions I had. We could consider those your favorite college football teams. And I asked people, do you have a favorite pro football team? And
The
obviously, we kind of
49ers.
referred to it. Please tell us
Mm-hmm.
about that. And what about the 49ers makes it so special to you?
So when I was either 5 or 6 years old, my father was salesman of the month or 6 months or something like that. And the hires up had, oh God, words not coming to me. The tickets you buy for the whole year,
The season tickets, yeah.
season tickets. They had season tickets on the 50-yard line. And so they would give the 2 tickets to the person that got this award. So they gave them to my dad. And instead of my dad picking a coworker, which is what normally happened, or even a male member of his family, he decided to take me to the game. And
Mm-hmm.
so we're sitting at the 50-yard line, and I'm surrounded by all these men, and they were very careful about their swearing. Speaking of swearing at games, it was really cute. And then they were explaining the game to me because sometimes I would not understand the finer points of it and sort of root for the wrong team or play. And then they'd very calmly explain why that was, oh, no, no, this happens or blah, blah, blah. It was, I just became a 49er fan. That was it.
Mm, wow. Did the uniforms have something to do with it? What do you think when you
No,
saw the
because there were
uniforms?
several other uniforms I liked much better.
Oh, like what teams?
Well, I kind of like the Dolphins because of, you know, they were associated with Dolphins.
Mhm.
Speaking of the Steelers, I liked them because they had the sparks on the side of their helmet.
Yes, yeah,
So
and it
that
was
was
one
really cool.
and it was one side of the helmet, I believe, back then.
I believe it was,
Yeah,
yes.
which made it kind of
So
odd.
there were other teams that had prettier uniforms. I mean, all ours are really is the 49ers. It's just says the name and it's red and black and gold and
Hmm.
um but I really became a fan because of, my dad took me to the game and he was explaining it and all these other 49er fans were explaining to the little lady. They called me the
Hmm.
little lady.
Mm.
Uh was at the game and I was a 49er fan forever.
How old were you then?
We believe I was 5 or 6 when I was
Wow,
able to last ask my dad. He couldn't remember either, but he believed I was 5 or 6.
I'm about to start crying. So it's like,
I believe
you
I
know,
was in kindergarten, so
well,
that would have been 5 or 6.
yeah, it just
No
reminds me of,
crying, no
well,
crying.
no, I just my own kids. I'm just and
Mhm.
hell to you, JT Kirk. Good to see you, sir. We're
Hello,
talking
Captain, my
Focky.
captain.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Stunning has come up with a new. Stunning and Masters have come up with a new sport called Focky, which is a combination of football and hockey. And Masters is the league director, and they're trying to come up with names. By the way,
Yeah, team
Snortopoopas has
name.
got the Western Division hockey team, the Petaluma Potato Beetles. So we need more teams.
Oh, Petaluma. I know where Petaluma is. What's a Luma, though?
I don't know, Star.
That's the joke for the city, Petaluma. They have their unofficial thing is what's a Luma?
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I didn't know
pet,
that.
uh,
See this?
Luma. So
Oh,
what is a Luma?
that's cool. See, Masters did say it could be the fossil Fockies. So, but that's interesting.
Ah.
This is what I find fascinating. This is what I kind of tell everybody, that to not prejudge this is just a football show.
Mhm.
This is the stuff that it goes into, and I love, and that's really not neat hearing and learning about that. And hello to Jeremy. Jeremy Five Russia approved. Good to see you tonight, sir. So hey, everybody, make sure you smash that like button and sub if you haven't, and go drag people in to get the last four that we need. JT Kirk said the Detroit Red Lions. Ah, uh-oh. And now the orders are coming. Take position, crew. The captain entered the bridge. Yes. JT Kirk. And we got
Mhm.
10 great people here with us again. Uh, oh my gosh. A luma is a predatory feline that will rip your arm off if you try petting it.
Could
That is
be.
awesome. That is awesome. Well, Daisy, I love it. If you can think of any other specific stories like you had with your dad, I just things jump out at me. Um, was more NFL for my oldest. She wasn't even 2 or 3, and I had to carry her half the way to go into one of the NFL games that we had. I
Mhm.
just the missus made it a big deal, and she had a little outfit that it just growing up with that kid watching football games all the time, and I got to take Aang as it was later, and we had good things. A couple years ago, I took Aang to a bowl game where Georgia was playing Nebraska, and we sat in the rain and stuff like that. And we've had some memories like that.
You
Um,
did spark a memory when
okay,
you
go
were
ahead.
saying that Mrs. dressed her up in the little outfit.
Hmm.
So my mom was born in England and didn't understand American football, except that she would say, "Oh, that's the game where the ball is not round," and we would all go, "Yes."
Right.
But what she did understand is that I was a Niners fan and that my husband was a Bears fan. So she, bless her heart, took my dad with her. And for one of Liam's birthdays, she bought the sweatshirt was said the Bears on it,
Hmm.
and the sweatpants had the 49ers colors. So for this
Hmm.
little 1.5-year old, 2-year old had these adorable mismatched. And then we would explain to people who would kind of go, pick a team. And I'd go, no, 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 you don't understand. That's our two teams.
Yep. Oh, that's it's kind of like Florida State, Florida, or Florida, Georgia. I mean, you get the split houses, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
kids. I remember then when the missus had Aang, Ninja was just short of 2 years old, and had a little Florida Gator cheerleader outfit on. It was like really cool because
Hmm.
it was, I think, Florida Georgia weekend that weekend actually. So anyway, I'm sorry. It's just I get so emotional. But and not just with my kids. I remember my dad. I've shared a couple of these before, but like when I remember, I can remember. I don't know how old. I had to be 6 or 7, I think. My dad, my uncle would go together to games once in a blue moon, and down in Gainesville, and I just vividly remember the old Florida field where the north end zone, you walked in, it had ivy, it had brick walls, metal gates, and you
Hmm.
just walked down to the field level. And we were about halfway up in that north end zone. And I know they were playing LSU that night on the AstroTurf and stuff back then. And back then
Yeah,
AstroTurf was high tech stuff and all that.
it was. Yes.
And then of course, more and more people got their knees blown out and stuff playing on it.
Hmm.
But it was like, but I don't remember anything other than that game, other than in general, I seeing LSU and those distinctful ugly helmets on the field in front of me, and my uncle, my dad there. Um, we
I
also had.
can remember. I can remember. At that time they played in Candlestick Park, the Niners,
Mhm.
and I do actually remember where we sat and seeing the two teams on the field. But yeah, when you're young, what you do and don't remember is different.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
So
you're lucky
yeah,
to really recall anything, at that point.
yeah, this is true, especially as you get older and,
Yeah,
there's
we're
only
talking
so
almost
much, memory in there, and so some things leak out.
we're talking almost 50 years later. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's this, and one is the other ones, and you guys will love this because everybody says Florida, it's never cold. Well, there was one time in 1981, 1982 at the Gator Bowl, the Gators played Iowa. Chuck
Mhm.
Long was the quarterback. I think JT Kirk might remember this. Chuck Long. I don't know. I thought Chuck Long played for Detroit. Maybe I got it all wrong, but I don't know. It's go with me with the story anyway, Captain. But
Mhm, mhm.
friggin' single digits in Florida that night.
Oh, god.
That,
You
that,
guys wouldn't have the clothes for that.
well, we ended up parking it. Well, funny you say that. Well, these were erector sets, exposed pipes, everything. So all the pipes were freezing up, no water in the state, all this stuff. Well, I, oh, oh,
You are. Oh
wow,
my
dang,
goodness.
I picture you as wine's beyond your years, sir. So, hey,
Wow.
but it was so funny. I remember like some our old man, he's like, "Oh, come on, Chucky baby, throw a touchdown." I'm like, "Come on, Chucky baby, throw him pick off." And this pass was picked up by the Gators, and everybody's looking at me like, "Hey, look at the kid," all that stuff. So,
Mhm.
well, the funny thing with that was that single digit temperatures. It was so cold out there. Well, mm, my mom decided to buy my dad and me, for whatever reason, the most unmanliest blue silky underwear.
Okay.
I think silk. They were like smoothie soft. They like not definitely not cotton. It was like something that would just slide off of you. So maybe it is truly silk.
It could have
Um,
been satin too.
I don't know. It was not manly. I just was like, well, I'm like,
No, that wouldn't be.
I never wore those things. My mom, I never. They stayed in my drawer for years, but I never wore them because wear. I would never wear those things. And so that year, I had my normal underwear, and I wore long jam. The thermal underwear. I'm not one to wear it. And hello, Ava Christina McFay. Good to see you tonight. And started poop us. What is underwear? Yeah, you guys won't have that part. And in '86, Masters had his first girlfriend. This was like '82
Oh.
though, but so even earlier than that. But the thing was, I would refuse to wear it. I dress warmly. I wore jeans, and nowadays at my age, I would refuse to wear jeans. I wear shorts everywhere. As long as my chest is covered and warm, I'm fine. So I'm
No,
good.
I wear jeans.
Well,
even when it's hot.
yeah. Well, my dad starts griping. Dang, it's so cold out here. My ass is cold. My ass is cold. The whole game. My ass is cold. Well, what happened? I wear these damn underwear your mom gave me, and that's all he wore. He just wore them as underwear and a pair of pants. And that bitch was so cold. He complained for weeks after that his ass was frozen. Still,
That's hysterical.
it was like, Dad, you wore those things you should have never worn. But hey,
No.
it's all good.
No.
It's all good.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
when you live in a state like you guys do, where it really doesn't get that cold, it would be hard to go to a store and even find a proper jacket to wear to a game, because you
Mhm.
guys, why would anyone want to buy it if you wear it once every 3 or 5 years,
No, exactly. Well, it's like buying any type of winter clothing down here. It's a crapshoot.
Yeah,
You just,
correct. Yes.
I mean, I got a couple of those hoodie zip up things that I got on the trip, but
Mhm.
we were at Universal. I finally saw them there, but I'm not buying any anymore because I've got 3 already, and it's like, when am I going to wear them?
Yeah.
So, but hey, but anyway, we got
It
10
does
people
get
still with
cold
us.
in our it does get cold in our desert, so
Yeah.
there are a few months that I do wear. So we do have like our very cold clothes
Hmm.
that are in big containers to store, and then you pull them out and
Right.
okay, those are the sweaters and that kind of stuff. But it does get cold here. You
Yeah.
guys, how often does it get cold?
We're lucky to have about 3 or 4 freezes a year, and usually
You'd have
that's
to turn
30,
your
32.
AC down to like 60 and then you could wear your sweatshirt.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Look at the missus. Yeah, you make us look for a thrift store. Yeah.
Yeah, but even in
Well,
your state, who's going to
well,
give you
well. JT Kirk down here, they are cold weather gear because our cold is not y'all's cold. It's
Yeah, they're
Y'all would
not
laugh.
really. You want like the one where you stick your head through the top and it has a hood on it,
Yeah,
not the zip one.
I see. I like the zip ones though. I like the zip
I
ones.
I like the zip ones better, but they're never quite as warm.
Well, I layer. I usually layer, so that's what I have.
Yes. Or some of them are lined. If you get nicer ones, then it works.
Start a poopas. Silly humans, you just need to grow a winter coat and extra layers of blubber. There you go.
Well, I
That'll
do
solve
have
it
a
all.
winter coat, but we will not discuss the blubber.
Oh, but well, do you have any other stories that you want to share? Any game memories or any type of rituals that y'all may have done growing up? I mean, because you and I have a common event in history, one that I hated that ruined football for so long, and one that was glorious for you is the catch.
Mhm.
Montana to Clark that ruined my football team for years to come.
I'm so sorry.
I know it's okay, but hey, getting a great
I,
being
I
a Niner
Clark
fan like you
used
is
to
great.
he used to have a restaurant um very close to where we used to live, and it was high end. So
Mm-hmm.
for an anniversary, my husband and I went to dinner there, and he had all sorts of memorabilia from his days
Mm-hmm.
playing with the 49ers, and it was right out on the bay near where people kept their uh sailboats. I'm sorry, I'm losing words tonight.
It's okay.
Um
You're doing better than I'm doing.
so so it was at night and there were candles on the table, and then you could look at the walls and it had jerseys and pictures and like his shoes and other members of the team. Of course, they all liked each other, so some of the memorabilia was from other 49ers, and that was so cool. John Montana, of
Mhm.
course.
Yep. Yeah, that
So
ruined
that
me
was
as a Cowboy
interesting.
fan for years, though. So
Yeah, I
hey,
can imagine if you were on the other team. I mean, we were hysterically happy, but I
yeah,
can understand the other team. Yeah, that
But honestly,
that was
it
a
was
catch, though. I mean,
it
you
was
have to
such a
admit.
perfect play, though. It was such a perfect
Yep,
play,
it
perfectly
was.
thrown. The the coverage was not bad. It just put it right in the perfect spot,
Yeah,
high where only he
it
could get.
wasn't that your team it wasn't that Dallas played badly. They did everything they should. It was just like he leapt up in the air, and I'm sitting there going, "He's gonna miss it. He's gonna drop it. Something is gonna happen." And then it was just perfect for us.
Yeah, I know. But hey, it's all
Yep.
good. Then you had because you had Jerry
Steve
Rice
Young.
after that. Then you had Steve Young too. Yeah,
Mhm.
what a wonderful run through the '90s.
Well,
That
even I can't remember the gentleman's name, but even the one after Steve Young, he had played in the Canadian Football League, and he got badmouthed by a lot of people. I thought he was a good quarterback, but he wasn't Joe Montana or Steve Young. He was still a good quarterback,
that's the
and
problem.
he didn't stay very long, and that was not fair because he
Yeah.
was a good quarterback.
Well, and that's the thing is it's becoming that next on the line. You look at what happened with coaches. I mean,
Yes.
Florida has not been able to. I mean, had trouble filling the shoes of Steve Spurrier. Of course, Matt
Mhm.
Myers came in. Sorry, I or I call him Oscar Myers sometimes because the way he treated University of Florida after he left there. But sometimes it's hard to replace that. I mean, Georgia struggled after Vince Dooley retired. Everybody
Mhm.
look at Alabama of all people. I wish O.C. Dobbins was here. Who will be my guest next week as a Bama fan. They were fortunate to have Gene Stallings follow right after Bear Bryant and he was a Bear Bryant guy. But after Stallings, it was like a mass of people that were never good enough, were always criticized, could never do whatever, and they had
Mhm.
to fight the culture and everything. And it was, but even then, they were not the competent coaches, did not have the success until Saban got there, or Satan, as some people call.
Mhm.
Oh my God! Do you see you see these people in this chat? Yeah, I
Montana
love.
is the
This is why I
best.
love the people that subscribe to this channel. Go get 4 more people for me, the Masters. You're not only the league director. Give me 4 more subs to. Montana's a Darth Maul of football for me. Yes, he was. Yes, and he was dressed in red. Yes, he was. I hated Joe Montana forever after that. So, Snore Poopa said it snowed here in '77, and everyone went nuts. The stores are stocked up with
Mhm.
winter clothing for a month. You could get great deals on thermal underwear at Sears. Yes. Well, in North Florida, we had it in '89. The missus and I talked about that with snow up here in '89. So at Christmas. So any other before we go ahead and start to move on to the football segments? Any other thoughts, stories of football that you recall? Any special memories or traditions?
Not right now. Oh, I will tell you that well, my husband is a Bears fan and I'm a Niners fan, and we thought we'd raised our son properly. He became a Denver Broncos fan.
Uh,
I blame it on John Elway and the fact that they have a very pretty horse on the side of their helmet.
uh,
I know. I'm like, "Oh, wait, really? You couldn't pick one of the. Okay, fine."
I like their plain D with the horse and the D from the '70s. That was good enough. They didn't need all this other silly stuff. Of course, their best
Mm.
quarterback since the '70s was Tim Tebow. So I refuse to
Yes,
acknowledge Elway. I refuse.
I know.
The guy in one playoff game ends up winning the flipping game when they let him throw the damn football. First friggin' drive, first time in NFL history where he had this fair play bullcrap overtime rule that they did, where each time gets the ball, I can't play
Mhm.
defense and do it the old friggin' way because we got to have equal opportunity instead of just playing defense. First play, boom, first pass, touchdown, and the game's over. Screw your overtime rules. Sorry, Daisy. I'm sorry. I'm ranting.
Well,
Because
yeah, I
honestly,
understand.
to me, he got a raw deal with that whole thing. They never put him in a good offense there. Elway, I think Elway didn't like the. I think Elway saw somebody that could surpass him in popularity, and that's
Mhm.
why when they could get Manning, it gave them an excuse to dump him and get rid of him. And then, of course, nobody wanted him because he's this big star. He never got a chance. You look at Rex toe sucking Ryan for the Jets. Yeah, there's a story with that. Sorry. but the Jets never gave him a shot. He had to sit behind butt fumble Sanchez, if you remember that game
I
between
do
New
remember
York and New
Sanchez.
England. Yeah, and it's like butt fumble. It's like you ran into the lineman's rear end right in front of him and fumbled the ball. It's like, anyway. So I'm sorry, I digress. I'm so
No, that's
sorry.
fine. I just thought it was funny that, and he wasn't even trying to be like
It's like,
rebellious. He
yeah.
just decided he liked that team, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever.
Sorry for my rant on that, Daisy. The
Oh
Denver
no, that's
Broncos,
fine.
Elway and the Broncos have a special place of hatred in my heart. As a Cowboys fan in the '70s, watching them rip them in that Super Bowl was I
Okay,
remember that game still.
so
And
my
then of course
team
with
gave
that,
you nightmares, and you don't like Liam's team. Have the Bears ruined you in any way?
oh no, the Bears are awesome. Who can forget the
Okay,
Super Bowl
okay.
shuffle? We ain't
Oh,
here to cause
so
no
that
trouble.
year,
We're here to
that
do the
year that
Super
they
Bowl
won,
shuffle.
they
Yes.
had to play the 49ers to get to the Super Bowl. So
Mm-hmm.
that was our Super Bowl.
Yep.
And my mom made this beautiful spread of snacks, and we all came over to their house. And she doesn't understand the game, but we told her just root for whoever's got the ball, and then we had to tell her who had the ball. But
Yep.
and that was so much fun. And of course the Bears won because they went
Yep.
on to, but that song they released, oh my god, with the Bear shuffle and the whole song and dance, that was funny.
Yeah. See, I think see, I can dance as good as those guys, but the missus won't let me dance in public. So hey, oh
My husband's not a dancer either.
yeah, I know. Well, she physically restrains me. So
Oh,
Matt,
I don't do that. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
well, Hank started restraining me too. But Master said, as long as you have friends like us, you're not in need of other enemies. And JT Kirk says the Bears have given me so many fantastic memories of losing to them when they were like a bottom 5 team. Truly amazing. So, but I tell you what, your Detroit Lions, though, man, that ended up last year really, really hot. I mean, it was a shame that the Detroit missed the playoffs, even though they won the last game, but they ruined it for the Packers. So there you go, made Jess happy. You know, Green Bay sucks, but hey, Snort Poop says I don't shuffle, but I can do a pretty mean waddle. Absolutely.
Excellent.
All
Waddle it
right,
is.
waddle, and it's the
Yeah,
waddle's
I think
the guy.
we've been chit chatting about everything except the college football.
But Daisy, that's why I tell people this. Oh, made me Jess happy, but Lisa said, yeah. But you know
Yeah.
what? But see, Daisy, that's why I try to tell people come watch this show. I'm going to focus as much as I can on the college part and stuff when it gets to that point. But the point of with the guests is to kind of give it a different element where it's not just a serious stuff shirt football show. I mean, look, we
Mm,
talked some college football. We talked about the
we
Cal
did.
Stanford play. We talked
Yep.
about some other things. We brought the NFL in, and we've had some great memories with some of that stuff. So, but let me we'll go ahead and get back into football unless you have some other special memories, like that with your dad. Like I talked about Ramblin' Canuck last year had a video of his kid playing high school football, which is awesome. The methods of people use for picking have been incredible. So, and I
Yeah.
cannot wait
Yeah,
to
I
hear
don't.
how you
Oh,
pick,
oh,
but we
I
will
don't
work.
want to do any more about my dad, or I will cry.
I got you. But those are special memories, and
Yes, they
I
are.
that.
They are. And with my mom and not knowing, understanding American football at all.
Oh no. Oh gosh. Masters football. I've been invited to give my opinion about Focky fake news.
Yeah, I know.
Sort of poopus. I need my mushroom fix. Oh my gosh. Well, and I agree. We're going to get into the football part of this right now. So,
Well, the college football, because
well, the college
we
football,
have
yeah,
been chatting NFL. So,
yeah, and see, like that's the thing is like some of my guests last year, most of the frame of references from the NFL
mhm.
side, and that's why I try to we'll go with where the chat is, where the guests are. It's friends hanging out. We're still talking football. That's the main
Yeah,
thing,
we even
and
talked about
memories.
the European Football League, American Football League.
Yeah, exactly. Um, it's really a wonderful thing to see. Um, but hey, we're going to get into this. and I'll introduce this part of the section for you get people that are new from this because my this was one of my first streams last year was the first week, and I don't think we definitely did not have this active of a chat, and I'm grateful for everybody that's here and the fun we're having, um, all that. Um, so we talked about we had the intro. We talk about introduce the guests. We talk about last week's games. So now we talk more about football and memories with the guests. So now what we do, we start getting into the real meat and potatoes of the football. Um, with this right now, with the SEC season and the college football, we kind of look at a um, general standpoint. In terms of the polls, we're going to talk about that from that and maybe make some observations nationally. But what we'll really get into is the SEC part of it. Most weeks going forward, we will have more of talk about the games themselves coming up. This week, not as much because none of the teams have played. We're starting all over. It's really hard to speculate this week in a lot of detail in the matches, but so this part will go a little faster than most other weeks. So let's go with it. All right, you ready,
Sounds
Daisy?
good. I'm
Uh,
ready.
all right. So hey, let us go with this, my friends, and we will bring up the poll. And of course, now if it would be, they play the music again, do do do, because it's
I
like
know.
I don't understand what this channel, what this stuff is doing. Why StreamYards? Everybody has agreed that StreamYards is having some interesting issues these days.
Yeah,
So
StreamYards is a trip.
yeah. So um, let's see. And let me go here. Master said, I will give my dad an American football experience. I was 8 and wanted to go to a soccer game. My dad was completely uninterested in soccer. Went ahead and buy a ticket for American football. Ooh, well, that's interesting.
Mm,
That's a special memory. Absolutely. Thank
mhm,
you. And folks, part of the show too is if you have memories and or experiences or you've seen stuff, share it. Feel free to share it with us and we'll have some fun with it and look back
mhm,
fondly on these things. So um and they said first I was really bummed, but then all the other elder fans did explain the game and never stopped going till I went here. Yeah, I got
mhm,
you. Yep. Masters, yes. Yes, I tell you, I speak fondly of my dad.
mhm,
Last month on the 28th of July was 25 years since we lost him. And it was hard, especially the first football season after without him because we bonded on college football, specifically the Gators. I remember the last game that my dad and I ever watched was, the Gators didn't have a great year. They played the hated FSU Seminoles. All the FSU fans were so jacked up, conceited all week, quacking about the quarterbacks. Florida had two quarterbacks; they both stunk, quacking about how bad the passes were, all this stuff. And then Florida went out, and one of the greatest games that my dad and I had ever watched, back and forth, dramatic to the end, and just ruined FSU season with that win. And 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 I will remember. See, the Gators made a bowl game, but I was here. I'd been married. I was married. I didn't go over for New Year's Day. I kind of regret that. But you know what? In some ways, it was just a bowl game against Penn State. Just
yeah,
meh.
yeah,
The fact that that was the last game I watched with my dad, that it was such a good game, stuck with me. I also,
yeah.
when I was in the hospital, saw that people remember the Michael Jordan versus Utah Jazz, where he made the shot and then turned around fist pumping. I watched that game with my dad that when that happened, and so
Mm,
so I'm sorry.
that's good.
It's great
No, that's
memories
fine.
that will last, like you said, they will last for with us forever, and that's what
Yes.
we cling to and have fun. So, with that, now I will pause again. Sorry, but I wanted attention to be put on the
Oh, of
comments,
course.
and it's like, come on, Streamyard, you can do it. You can do it, baby. Come on, you can do it. Come on, Streamyard.
We believe in you,
All right.
StreamYards.
Yes, exactly. All right. So here, from a national standpoint, there are two main polls that are we follow. Later in the year, we'll have the bowl ranking poll, which is a combination of these and computers. But AP of the sports writers top 25. You see, Georgia has 60 of the 63 first place votes. Uh, well ahead as the number one team in the nation. They have to replace Stetson Bennett, a 2-year starter at back-to-back national title winners, and with Carson Beck, a junior who's been in the program a few years, who's very talented, highly recruited out of high school. Can they? So far they're the team on Masters. I love it. Guys,
We
exactly.
need
Or
an exorcism.
oh yes, exactly. So, to JT Kirk's disdain, and Michigan and Jim Harbaugh have the other two had two of the first place votes, and Ohio State has the other first place vote. So two Big Tens, Big 12, Big Ten. I can't get used to the damn numbers, but two of JT Kirk's favorite schools, Michigan and Ohio State. I say that with the utmost sarcasm. Going 2-3. Alabama, LSU are ran out the top 5. So the SEC has 6 teams in the top 25. Tennessee, I think, is low at 12. They should be higher. But apparently there's a lot of love for the Big 12 this year, for Big 10 for whatever reason. They got Penn State in there also up high. Then you got the ACC with Florida State and Clemson. The Pac-12 has USC and Washington. The Big 12 with Texas. Notre Dame, who's above all the rules, and 13. Utah, who we will talk in just a moment, is 14th. My Beavers! Oregon State, 18th. And then Ole Miss and Texas A&M are 22, 23. And Tulane is in the top 25. And Iowa, oh, God, why? Wait till they lose to South Dakota or something. Iowa's a team that last year beat a Division II team 7-3, where they didn't score a touchdown. They kicked two. They scored 2 safeties and kicked a field goal.
Well, winning is winning.
Yes, but Iowa is really freaking painful. JT Kirk, you got to tell me how you think when your Spartans play Iowa, how painful that has to be to watch. But hey, JT Kirk says, OSU and Michigan lose all the games for here to attorney fallout. Okay. Yes, I know that's true. But the Beavers story, why I react with Oregon State, how somebody in the Southeast could be a Beavers fan. Well, it's the same reason I'm a New Jersey Devils hockey fan. In the 80s, I read before cable, before TV and all you had were sports print, newspapers. So I just got the newspaper prints. I love box scores. I love stats and all that. And I just one time said, let me cheer for all these teams that stink, because they need people to cheer for them. New Jersey was at the bottom of the NHL. Oregon State was in a Pac-12, like winless, and barely could score any points with their triple option offense. So in a couple other teams, and I just picked them. So that's how I ended up being Oregon State. They got good eventually, being able to watch games. The same thing with hockey was, so I started following more often. So, but hey, I ramble. But anyway, that's the top 25 there and all that. The coaches poll also, again, Michigan didn't get any first place votes, but outclassed Alabama, though, for second. Georgia's still number 1 here. Again, same 6 teams in the SEC are in this top 25 here. Ole Miss, A&M are lower down. Tennessee's up here in 10th. But you can see a lot of parallels between the teams on each side. I think really very similar polls. So, but of course, these don't matter for now. They will matter later down the road as the strengths of schedules are added, the computer rankings for what teams, to the bowl series or the playoffs is what they call it now. So, yeah. Oh, shoot, hold on. As I viewed the things, I'll put my money on Iowa. Okay, we'll see. I think that's all good. Yeah, we got 11 people here with us tonight. Thank you, everybody that's here with us, with Daisy, Blossom, my wonderful guest. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We learned about a new game called Focky tonight. So, and you guys keep coming up with some team names, though, guys. Come on, we need some more team names out there. As we continue now, moving into this week's action. So, and then after we talk about the polls, then we'll come into this week's action. This is the part of the show where I will talk more about matchup specific games. My guests, if they have anything to say about them, Well, is free to opine as talk. A lot of times here, I'll talk about the key matchups and this, that, and the other. This week, I will be honest. This week has been a little bit hard with a storm coming, having
Mm-hmm.
to push the schedule up. By normally we are going to try to do these on Thursdays. There's just been a lot of chaos and confusion on both of our sides that it will be better going forward on my standpoint, but I can give you some observations here. Hey, Stunning said the Kentucky chickens. I like that.
I like it.
You can't tell JT Kirk's jilted, can you? Michigan up there because of size and TV audience and pathetic schedule. Exactly. All right. So, God, we got 12 people here. Man, I love you guys, and I love having this guest to me. Daisy, you've been a blast so far. So let's have some fun with looking at the games and then talking about our picks. Middle Tennessee
Okay.
and Alabama is one of those that we call a paycheck game. Do you have a clue what a paycheck game is, Daisy?
No.
It's where a school comes in to get slaughtered for a paycheck. The school makes money.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Like
weird.
flyover country, it's just you fly over in a plane. Well, in this case is sacrificial lambs. They're coming in for the paycheck. Middle Tennessee will never
Gotcha.
beat out this type of Alabama team. This game is pointless to even play. You run a risk of getting your good players hurt in games like these. But
Mm-hmm.
a smaller school with smaller athletic budgets, they need the funding, they need the money. So it's that's why they call it a paycheck game. I got to go back to the chat real quick. Kentucky Chickens. Master said, "Don't miss it tomorrow. We see a shot of all the Mexican Hockey League." Brought to you, Beck's comment about Tucker Carlson. Oh, yes, yes, we did that, Jess. We actually, Mrs. and B from O and I streamed that in Creative one night where we were going around with the KFC chicken killer, and it's truly you running around a KFC building, battle axing the chickens. So.
Okay.
By the way, I have completely forgot that there's a friggin' hurricane out in the Gulf tonight. I've had such a good time tonight. This is
Well,
awesome, folks. Huh?
good.
That's awesome. It's wonderful. All right. So Western Carolina at Arkansas, same type of thing. Paycheck game. UMass is at Auburn. Now, folks, this is the game you might want to watch a little bit about because as I'm pulling something up real quick with this, UMass is a team. It's one of 4 independent uh, college football teams at Division I level. Because in this day and age, you have got to pretty much be in a conference to have any type of success. To get to bowl games, to get really anywhere these days, they've really forced everybody to be in a conference somewhere, some way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find the game from last week, but UMass, yeah, here we go. UMass is a team that has been very, very bad for years. Very bad for years. And they, let me see. I'm trying to see how bad they were actually last year. Let's see. Go to UMass. Last year, they were, the schedule. I got to get it to the right year. 2023. They ended up winning the first game on the road at New Mexico State, 41-30.
Wow.
So, which is a good, last year though they were 1-11.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that bad with only a win over Stony Brook.
Oh.
The previous year they were 1-11 with a win over Marks D with the C's UConn. I see where 2020, which is a real funky year, 0-4 because we all know what happened in 2020.
Yes.
And it was a bizarre. 2019, they were 1-11.
Yes.
Okay. 2018, they were a big 4-8.
Yay, they had a winning season.
Yay. But I will tell you, I go through those records that, folks, Auburn could get knocked off in this game then. If UMass actually is legitimate, actually won a game finally, that's how bad UMass has been. Auburn is really, really down. B from O out there, is one of the resident Auburn fans. We got two resident Auburn fans, B from O and Small Time Republic. And the key to Auburn is that can they actually have a quarterback and throw the ball this year? They have a great coach, Hugh Freeze, who was really good at Ole Miss, but there were off the field issues and he left. Went to Liberty, had a great program up at Liberty, and is now back in the SEC at Auburn University. So we'll see what happens. But it could be a rough start. It just depends on the quarterback situation at Auburn that they have there. So, all right. JT Kirk says, UMass won't get it done. War Eagle. There you go. Of course, Auburn is the team that has like three different mascots: War Eagle, Tiger, and Plainsman.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So,
okay, I didn't know that. I only found one mascot.
Yeah. Yes. Well, hey, apparently now, while we're doing this stream, Masters as league director is now coming up with good rules. And while Stoney's coming in, Mexican Faki ain't easy. First, duck and dive. Second, cross the river. Third, dug and dive again. And finally, you can draw a touch goal. All right. We have rules. We have rules now for Faki.
We must have rules. Yes.
Right. Then we now play the game with 12 great people in the chat. Oh, this is awesome. This is so much fun. Now the game of the week for me is Florida, Utah. Yeah, Daisy, did you? I know we were going to have you look at some about Utah, and I know it's been a week, but Utah, the Utes are the Pac-12. Were you able to recall anything from them this week?
All I do remember is I was trying to study the team, and that's all gone from my computer. But I do remember that the name of the team, the reason they're called the Utes, is because there's a major American Indian tribe in Utah is called the Utes, and that's why they named the state Utah. So that's what they named the team, and possibly the school is built on former Indian land, which is not good.
Well, see, they had that. Go ahead. Sorry.
I know. I was just going to say, some people say yes and some people say no. So I don't know.
Well, it's like in Florida, Florida State, the Seminoles. They have the Florida State logo. They have the chief on the horse planting the spear at midfield, and but they work with the Seminole Indian tribe who has embraced it and encouraged it, and they agreed to it and like it, and the use of the image and all that. So, it's because there have been people that have kind of brought up questions, but it's been clamped down pretty quickly because of a lot of working back and forth.
Yes, so, and that's appropriate.
Yeah. So, all right, my Florida Gators, they suck. So,
honestly, I picked Utah.
Well, we'll get to the picks. We'll get to the picks in a second. But see, this game is just like, you're good. You're good. I should have explained everything. Well, let's get to the picks in a minute. But see, basically here, Florida goes on the road at Utah. If you watch my preseason special, when I picked Florida, at first I had Florida with 3 wins, 9 losses. I'm like, I was really negative. And I had to say, am I being fair? Am I being objective? Because I don't like the coach. I think bad time management, game management. They have no quarterback. Not that they had much of a quarterback last year. Supposedly he's so friggin' talented. He was drafted 4th over in the NFL, but he'd throw Hail Mary. He'd throw Hail Marys 20 yards into the stands or off the uprights. So, but the next game he was a 400-yard passer. It's just so frustrating. You throw for 400 yards against Tennessee, but then next week against Missouri, you just couldn't. Anyway, that's crazy. So I'm not sold with this team. Also, one of the other bad barometers is JT Kirk will back me up on this. They got a friggin' transfer from Wisconsin as their starting quarterback.
Oh, wow.
If you want anything from Wisconsin, you want the running backs, not their quarterbacks. They can't throw the football. And in SEC, if you can't throw the football and throw it downfield, weak average receiving core and everything. I just, so look at that on the road with Utah returning Cam, their starting quarterback. ranked 14th, as we saw in the polls earlier. Defending Pac-12 champions, Rose Bowl. You just, Utah will be at home in this game, and the returning key players. So, of course, UT Martin, which is Tennessee Martin at Georgia. That's another paycheck game. Ball State, which is everybody's favorite, just to say Ball State, and Kentucky. You know, should be another paycheck game. Mercer and Ole Miss. There's not much to say with that. And that's why they call them paycheck games. These games are games that the SEC team should win easily, and it's just move on to the next one. Southeast Louisiana at Mississippi State. But when you get down to teams like Mississippi State or Auburn, some of those games can be a little tight. South Dakota at Missouri. Missouri's kind of a team that's kind of they should be good. They had decent last year. They should beat a team like South Dakota, but you never know. Sometimes they come out and lay an egg. What is interesting this week is the SEC has 3 games on neutral sites. South Carolina plays North Carolina and up in Raleigh. I believe it's in Raleigh game, or it's a neutral site. It's not in Chapel Hill for sure. Tennessee, the Volunteers play Virginia. That's in Memphis, even though it's in the state. Or Nashville. It's still on a neutral site. Not Tennessee's home field. It's a SEC ACC matchup. Well, actually, folks, as I don't know, we got 3. Last year we had 1, which was at Florida State and LSU playing in New Orleans. This year it's LSU and Florida State, Tennessee and Virginia, South Carolina and North Carolina. So 3 of the SEC against ACCs this week. Probably the best game of all. South Carolina and North Carolina could be an interesting game. South Carolina returned Spencer Rattler. North Carolina had a decent year last year. How does this game go? Neutral site, bragging rights between 2 states or 2 schools that don't often play each other. We'll see. And South Carolina wants to have a big year. They need to start off, on a hot streak. Tennessee plays Virginia, a game that this Virginia team, you're not sure what you've got coming back. They're a team that ended up having to cut their season short last year, not playing their final game due to an on-campus event tragedy. Tennessee, though, coming off the win in the Orange Bowl against Clemson, impressive victory with Joe Milton back at quarterback now. Reigns turned to him. The Michigan transfer, will he actually? Last year he lost the starting job to Hendon Hooker. Will this year he keep and hold that starting job? Will he play as well as he did after Hooker got injured last year? And by the way, the username Hendon Hooker in our chats last year kept getting flagged.
Oh, yeah, because
the missus had to clear it at times. It was hilarious. So,
I know sometimes the whatever you call it, the bot picks up things and says, no, that's one of those words you're not allowed to use.
Yep, exactly. So in LSU Florida State was probably going to be the best of the games. Last year it came down to a missed extra point by LSU, which was interesting. LSU missed the extra point. It was blocked by FSU, so FSU won the game. If you remember last year, LSU upset Alabama at home. Well, because they pulled within 1 and there was still a few seconds on the clock. Brian Kelly went for 2. He won the game. Instead of kicking 1 and go for overtime, which most coaches do, they got it, beat Alabama, and the rest is history. Won the SEC, eventually losing to Georgia. So,
may I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Why do they play on a neutral site?
This started a few years ago because of these kickoff classics, like in some of these places. I'm not sure exactly which of these games they are, but sometimes these neutral sites pull up these games that want to host it. Jerry's World, Jerry's World in Dallas has been hosting the Arkansas Texas A&M game for years. It's just kind of it is. What's that?
I'm sorry if you can hear the noise.
I hear nothing.
Oh, good, because the gentlemen they take care of our yard and they're out there making noise right now.
Oh, I hear nothing. I hear nothing.
Okay, so good.
Good. So basically, that Florida Georgia is like here. They just it's been a history of playing on a neutral site. Oklahoma Texas, the Red River rivalry. They play at the Texas State Fair. It just sometimes, and sometimes there are sponsorships, especially early season type neutral site games. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be for any
Okay.
number of reasons. So and the master said, first Mexican Faki Club, Los Faquitos. If you don't know the name, don't know the game, you are to blame. Oh my gosh, folks. And JT Kirk, JT, that's not after that politician years ago. I have to say that I can't say that out loud because then I could get in trouble. But hey, some politician called Gators years ago, and it was like really funny the way they said it. But um,
Gotcha.
the last two games, like that, like I said, LSU and Florida State are going to be a fun game. This is probably going to be the best game of the bunch. And just the Seminoles are up and coming. They're in the top 10. LSU off of a surprise season. Can they repeat? They bring back Jaden Daniels, the starting quarterback, which is key for them. So, I picked LSU to win the West. So, and starting with this game over FSU, but New Mexico State, Texas A&M, Alabama A&M, and Vanderbilt are more of those paycheck games. So, go figure.
Mm. It
All
is
right.
the first week, so
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, now at this point, we start talking picks. So I did pretty good, I think, with dragging that out to actually talk some specifics about the game because really there's not a lot we can really talk about in these games because we don't really have much to go on. At this point, it's just all speculation. We got some good ideas. We know what some of these teams are about, but I will still say, this Florida Utah game, I want to hope my team will perform well. I will hope that this experienced quarterback will come in and kind of give them some stability that they did not have last year. I'm hoping the coaching's better. This game, I hope that Florida surprises me with it against Utah. But probably your best game is going to be that LSU Florida State game of the week. So, all right, Daisy. Well, at this point, we'll go into our picks. Okay.
okay.
And remember, folks, this is for informational and fun purposes only. We do not endorse the gambling and everything else and stuff like that. So this is only for information between friends, having some fun with this. So, and the first game is, well, actually, we'll say this is going to be what we stand. This will get updated every week overall. You got me, you got our guest. Look at that beautiful cat. That's a pretty avatar. We're at 0-0, and then see you got all the guests lined up. Subject schedules could change. We got OC Dobbins the first week. We got B for Mo if you're still here. His little avatar that his missus made. There's JT Kirk and his Sparty, and of course AFK Bard and
Mm-hmm.
Martin D with a C. And we actually have Jane Theory coming up this year later in the
Oh,
Florida LSU
nice.
week. So Whoopa Troopa and Lorena Creole and a few other surprise local people here in this. So we'll jump to the games. This week's games, Middle Tennessee at Alabama, and Daisy will pick Alabama. Daisy, did you have a specific methodology, or you want to hold off on telling us that first?
Whenever you would like me to tell you how I picked them, I will. You
Okay.
let me know when you want me to divulge
Okay.
my secret
We
method.
will wait. Well, we will wait. We will wait. I will go to one of the ones when it surprises me. Okay.
Okay.
Do that. So then, so Daisy takes Alabama. Well, we touched the paycheck game. I agree with that. We're in agreement there. Okay, now tell us about your secret methodology because Daisy takes Western Carolina and I take the pigs.
Okay. So I didn't know how to pick who was going to win because I'm not as into college football. So, keeping in mind that my avatar is a kitty cat, I went with teams based on them being if one of the two teams had an animal as their mascot, I went with that. And if both teams had an animal as their mascot, then I picked the one I liked better. So with Alabama, although the one above, while Middle Tennessee had a blue horse and blue is my favorite color, I liked the Bumblebee logo better. So, and West Carolina was, I think they're lions, but they're some sort of cat.
They're the catamounts. like a
Yeah.
mountain line. Yeah. All right.
It's very scientific, this method I was using, very scientific.
Well,
Mhm.
Stortopoulos is very scientific too when he says, "I predict that the team that scores the most points will win."
That is true.
Exactly. So, and Masters is coming up. Masters is all into this. I'm studying. Where are you at? But yeah, Masters is taking the idea around a hockey. Like in hockey, hockey uses sticks. Unlike in hockey, the sticks are utilized as foot traps or beating clubs. Oh, God, I love it. I love it. I could watch that. All right, so we have UMass at Auburn, and Daisy takes the Tigers, and hey, there you go, the Carolina Crackers. That works.
I don't think we can use that name.
No, we do. We talk about crackers, like Cracker Barrel,
I know.
because a bunch of crackers that were in the barrel when they shipped them and stuff. If you know the history of why they call it Cracker Barrel like that, so but hey, and then we're gonna fight to use it any way we can.
Yes.
And I agree with Auburn in this game. So, all right,
Tigers.
all right, Tigers all the way. Although I will say, with UMass winning last week and actually looking competent on offense, you know, it's
Mhm.
this one depending on who the starting quarterback for Auburn was and how Hugh Freeze has done with his team. This game could be interesting because sometimes with these type of teams with a new coach in the first year, they can lose some games that normally you would think they'd win, but you never know. We'll see.
Mm.
Yeah, and see, like Snorter Poopa
Oh,
said too, is that troops during the Civil War called hardtack crackers. So
yep.
there's a lot of historical content for a lot of the terms that we have. So Florida, Utah, Daisy.
So the next one, I specifically chose Utah
Mm-hmm.
because this was the game you first talked to me about,
Mm-hmm.
and I figured that you would take Florida. So I took Utah, and they also have red-tailed hawks. So
Oh, okay. Well, in this game, I had to be honest. I had to be objective. I really, really did have to. It goes back to a new quarterback from Wisconsin is Florida's
mhm.
leading starting quarterback. Utah's is in the top 20. They returned their starting quarterback, who and they won the Rose Bowl last year, the Pac-12 champions. I had to go to Utah at home. I mean, just
Okay. That
to be
surprises me,
objective.
but I understand the statistics.
I had to throw the emotion out of this game particularly. So there will
Yeah.
be a game in a couple weeks that I'm probably going to take Florida, but it's more that I'm trying to be emotional, but I got some basis for doing that. But we'll get to that later. UT Martin at Georgia. Well, see, okay, you took UT Martin against to upset the number one Georgia Bulldogs, and
Well,
UT
because they
Martin's.
had blue skyhawks
Oh,
versus well, okay, so then they had red bulldogs,
mm-hmm,
right?
right,
So, but blue is my favorite color,
okay,
but the bulldog was cute. So that was a very difficult game for me to choose.
mm-hmm, yes.
I could easily have gone with Georgia and their cute little bulldog.
Yeah, I agree with that. You say cute little bulldog. I've got to do something real quick if you don't mind me taking a. How are you doing tonight, Daisy? You
I'm
good?
hanging in there. I'm hanging
Okay,
in there.
I know we'll be wrapping up in a few minutes, but I wanted to take a little. Um, uh, let's see.
Yeah.
There, you talk about the cute little bulldog. There is an iconic uh, picture. I saw it live when it happened, and it's up at a pizza place up in Athens, Georgia. The picture of it, because
Mhm.
this is how iconic the picture was. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one to do. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which one. Let's go here. Go here. I'm trying to let me blow it up a little bit bigger before. All right, let's go here, and we are here. This was an Auburn, Georgia game here, right near, folks. And see, this was in the Plains. Georgia played at Auburn in this game, and come on, dadgummit. StreamYards, come on. Dadgummit. I was like, I don't understand it. I've shut down my computer before and restarted, and it's just weird how this is happening. So, Come on, StreamYard. There we go.
StreamYards is StreamYards.
Yes.
Oh.
He's leaping at the Auburn player who caught the ball, was going out of bounds, and Uga jumped up to bite the Auburn player. And you see the Auburn player avoiding him like there.
Yes.
So when you
So
said cute
cute.
little bulldog, I just had to show you what
Well, I do
he's.
realize they can have attitude, but the pictures were so cute. It's just blue's my favorite color. In that case, I went with which was my favorite color.
That's awesome. I just had to show that because it's like, that's really cool that we got, like, yeah, cute bulldog. So, all right. So now we're going to bring it back up with that. When we've got Ball State at Kentucky, you take you take Kentucky. I agree with you with the Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mercer
Cats.
Bears, the Mercer Bears at the Ole Miss Rebels. So you took the Bears on
Oh.
this one.
Yes, because sort of, I can't read my writing. I think they were both bears. Both of the, I can't read my writing.
Okay, well, Ole Miss are the Rebels. I'm amazed that
Oh,
that
okay.
name
I'm
is still
I'm on the
there.
wrong
So,
line then. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Which game are we on? Kentucky.
JT Kirk,
Yeah,
Mercer at
there we
Ohio,
go. I'm so
Mercer at
sorry.
Ole Miss, Ball State, Kentucky. Sleep. Uh,
Oh yeah, okay. So I thought one was the Cardinals, Ball State.
Ball
That's
State.
why I
That's the
got.
Ball State game. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I went with Wildcat, of course, because cat.
Hmm. Exactly.
And then Mercer. I'm on the wrong one. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I
You're
had
okay.
that. They were two different bears, and I just picked one.
Mhm. Cool. I. Well, all right. Well, let's jump to the next screen of games. You took Southeast Louisiana at Mississippi State. What mascot is Southeast Louisiana? I thought they were the Raging
It was a
Cajuns.
lion.
I think they changed. I think that's
Did
one
they
of those
change
that
it?
changed the nickname too. I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The Lions. Well, I took the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, the uglier color. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the color.
Yeah. Exactly. Sort of Poopa says always pick the Bears. And JT says, be careful not to overuse the Wildcat. Defenses pick up it on after a while. Yep. Which he's talking about is a Wildcat offense where you take a running guy, put him in there at quarterback to just run with the ball. So,
Oh, I
oh my
gotcha.
gosh. Well, I'm going to end up, you keep coming up with those rules masters, and I'm going to end with that. So, Daisy took South Dakota. I took the Missouri Tigers. Interesting that you didn't go with the Cats on this one.
No, I went with the Jackrabbits because I just liked the logo, and I thought, who names their team Jackrabbits? That's just such a neat thing.
Well, let me do this real quick while we're doing it. Let me just bring it up real quick if you don't mind. The Jackrabbit, so everybody can see what this logo is. Which when I look at it, time we won't have a time to get to the ugly mascots, but that's okay. We're doing these nice little adventures here. If I can, ugh, stop that.
Yeah, I know that StreamYards is giving you a problem.
Well,
Or
this time
OBS.
it's my internet, So we'll just I hit the wrong button. It decided to bring something else up. So all right, so let's see. I want to bring up the Jackrabbits. Ooh, I can agree with this. I
Mhm.
can agree with this one.
I
So
just
folks,
liked I
so I have to
thought it
go to
was cute.
Jackrabbits here.
Yep.
Come on, dang StreamYard, damn it, Mark. Oh
Damn
God,
it, Mark. Poor Mark.
come on. I mean, this is like I do not
It is
understand what they're
taking a
doing.
very long time.
Yeah, but the missus shows it. It's not like this. That's the. This is getting, old to you and me. All right,
See,
see,
isn't he
there's a
cute,
jackrabbit.
little jackrabbit?
That's a beautiful little jackrabbit.
I
Feisty.
know.
Look how angry.
He does look
Look
a
how
bit feisty for a
yep,
rabbit. Yeah.
exactly. I wonder if nobody gave him tricks for
Yeah,
maybe
I
he didn't
know. Tricks
cereal.
are for kids.
So that is a lovely logo. I agree with that. I like that. That is a good one. That is a good one. So, All right, so we're going to get back to the game. So we got South Carolina and North Carolina. Daisy takes the Tar Heels, and I take the Gamecocks.
Okay. I thought that's about North Carolina had a wolf.
Oh, it
No?
might be North Carolina State, the
I
Wolfpack.
got the wrong school. Okay. All right.
It's okay.
Well,
Well, we can
whatever.
let you. Do you want to change it to South Carolina? We can change it to South Carolina.
I don't what so which one is one of them an animal?
South Carolina, the Gamecocks. They got Cocky,
Okay,
the mascot.
we'll go with that. I
Okay, so
I
I let
looked up the wrong school.
well
Sorry,
because
guys.
because it's okay. It happens. So we will adjust it according to that theory. Yeah, South Carolina's got Cocky, the mascot. They're called the Gamecocks. So there are plenty animal of them, but it's a fun name for everybody to say. South Carolina.
Mhm.
So because you can
Yes,
obviously tell why
yes.
people like playing with that name. But hey, I think South Carolina will win, but you never know. This game in North Carolina coming off a decent year, so a master says he will support whatever the lady says. She seems to be on the right track due to mascots. There you go. That is awesome. So Tennessee and Virginia, another neutral site game. Daisy takes the Volunteers, and so do I against UVA. Any particular reason on this one?
I thought they were the Tigers.
It's okay. It's a
No,
good pick, though.
got the wrong school again.
No. It's okay. It's the right pick you should do here, though. I will say you did good on
Okay,
this.
well, we'll stick with that one.
Yes, exactly. This is
Sorry,
like
guys. I
it's all
probably
good.
screwed up whether they were states or universities
Yeah,
or
but hey, the Volunteers are on a roll. Davy Crockett, all that stuff. Although god awful Rocky Top, what a song! But they'll roll against UVA. UVA
oh
usually
well,
has no
Davy Crockett.
offense.
I used to like that Davy Crockett.
Yeah. So we're in agreement there. Then we got
Mhm.
the New Mexico Lobos at the Texas A&M Aggies. You take the Aggies, the doggies.
Okay, this was very hard because
Uh huh.
obviously Liam is a wolf, so you would go
Oh,
with the Lobos. However, again, if I got the right one, Texas A&M has a Lassie dog,
yes, it does.
and the dog was so cute. I just went, okay, I'm gonna take Lassie.
There you go. That is awesome. Nobody can argue with Lassie.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So then we got Alabama A&M and Vanderbilt Commodores. Okay. So what's the mascot for Alabama A&M then?
Bulldog.
Bulldogs. All
Unless I've
right.
got the wrong one.
Well, I can check. But no,
I'm
it's
pretty
it's
sure it's a bulldog.
yeah. But hey, yeah. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I'm taking Vanderbilt at home. Start
Fine.
2-0 again this year. Yep, you're right. It is the Bulldog. Ooh, hold on a second. Let me do this real quick, folks. Thank y'all for your patience, Daisy. Thank you for here because I think that's kind of cool. I like looking at mascots too, and this is another mascot that's worth taking a look at real quick. Okay, so
Mhm.
we'll we will do this real quick. Uh,
Well, it
uh,
is it is neat when a team is named after and their mascot is some sort of an animal and they have the actual animal on the field or
yeah,
can have it on the field.
yeah, exactly. Giga Maggies. Sorry, Poopa said. Oh wow, Master said, "See how the lady is always correct." I had a lassie dog called Dino,
Oh.
but there you go. Look at that bulldog. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
That is really neat to see. So, oh man, I say I like it. This is why we do this. The missus last year did colors and bands and stuff like that
Mm.
and nicknames. So, but that's
Sometimes
what
it's you just gotta pick a method and then stick with it.
exactly,
Unless you look
exactly.
up the wrong school and then you have a problem.
It's okay. Well, it's the spirit that counts. We're going to count that in the spirit of the Oh my gosh! Now the bulldog reminds you on your Seals logo. Okay. All right, LSU, Florida State to conclude the week. Oh, shoot. There we go. Hey, that wasn't too
Hmm.
long. I actually hit the right button, though. Thought I hit the wrong. We both take LSU, the Tigers.
Hmm.
All right.
I did love the Seminoles. They have the horse come on, and the horse was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the other one was a tiger, and it's a cat. So
Absolutely. That is awesome. And so that's where we have, if we look back, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Up here, I can't do it. We at least have 4
I did
disagreements.
change North Carolina to
Yeah.
South Carolina
Yep. You're
because I
right.
looked up the wrong school.
Yep. Exactly. So we on this screen we'll have 3 disagreements. So,
Yeah,
but
I'm
hey,
sure you're going to win.
hey, it's okay. It's the fun and the spirit of having fun with a friend, and
Yes.
this is
May the
really cool.
may the best mascot win.
Exactly. It's a battle of mascots.
It's a battle of mascots.
There you go. But hey, it's all, and it's been a blast and talking football with you, Daisy. Appreciate you being here and everything
Thank you
else.
so much for having me.
Any other final thoughts that you want to say? Any final memories that may have come up from football over the
Mm,
years?
no, I'm good. My team has a terrible mascot, my NFL team, but that's okay.
There you go. Oh, I know. We'll definitely talk more football this year. I look forward to it. Yeah. We'll get you into college if you want, but hey, but all that good note. There's a lot coming up, so I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to say good night to everybody. Thank y'all for making this a wonderful, fun first show of the second season. I tell you, last year, I mean, there's a whole different crowd in here this time. Last time it was just a few friends that were in, kind of helping support me get off the ground and stuff. This is a blast of a chat. Stunning and Masters, y'all coming up with a new sports league.
I
Uh,
love it.
I
I
had some
love
wonderful
it.
sort of Poopas with his comments and JT Kirk and his mocking of Michigan. You love to do it. But let me do this real quick. There's a couple things. Masters actually got a little bit more information. He said the center of the game is a Focky ball, which looks like a football is made of puck material. When you score a goal, you score a goal when the player blats the goalie with the ball backwards over the line.
Kind of
And the game,
a reverse dunk. Is that
yes,
what
that's kind of what it looks like, and it knocks it back across the line. The
I
game
like
duration
it?
is 5 minutes per side, as both teams usually lose most of the player in the first 3 minutes of the action. Hockey is a thrilling game.
Oh, it's kind of like rollerball.
Sounds a lot better than soccer, but uh, oh, Masters said though, never seen a league prediction based on art. I still this concept predict the German soccer league. Oh, well, last year we had people picking based on cheese, on rolls
Hmm.
of dice, and all kinds of different things. And
Hmm.
so we're here for fun.
I
And
tried
all
to
this.
get as I said, I tried to get my cat involved because we used to have our dog pick teams. Um, she's gone now, but at the cat, Binks was like, yeah, no, mommy, not interested in the slightest. So I went
No,
with a different plan.
yes, a great plan. We love it. So I appreciate you, Daisy, here tonight. And thanks for everybody in the chat. We still got 11 people watching us right now. Make sure you've hit that like button. Thank you for all your support, folks. We do appreciate it. Um, bring new people to the channel. Have them come to check us out and see what's new. And like I said, hopefully you can share it with people.
Sorry.
This is not your normal average typical football show. It's different, and I want to make it fun for everyone.
I'm sorry, Schnorter Poopus in the chat.
In Pokeball, when the throw the ball guy goes for a long bomb, do they use an actual bomb? Okay, to the benevolent overlords, we're talking metaphorically here. This is
Yes,
not
we
real.
are.
Yes,
Confetti comes out.
yes.
Just confetti.
Oh my gosh, Masters, back to this Yellowstone thing again. From plugs in the center of the Yellowstone Park to the mascot School of the Arts. That's unique. Hit that like. Okay, Daisy, can you bear with me 1 second? I know you got to
Yes.
go. Okay, can you bear with
No
me one
worries.
second? This,
Mhm.
I will not go through all those. I will not go through all those avatars, but I've got to bring this one up. JT Kirk will have flashbacks too. Okay. Masters is obsessed with the plug in Yellowstone, but he was here for the uh, this episode where we ended up talking an article about the 10 scariest or ugliest mascots um, in college.
Scariest mascots?
Or ugliest, scariest or
Oh,
ugliest.
ugliest. Okay.
It's like,
Well, some of them, depending on which, they had a bunch of pictures, and some of them were a little creepy.
oh, you've not seen Creepy, my friend.
Okay, you're gonna show me creepy.
You,
Great.
well,
Like I'm gonna go to bed in a few hours.
this one, and this one is not even this one is not even the fighting okra that looked like he had a child with a full diaper at the bottom.
Oh, great.
No, this is not even that. So, you ready for this one, Daisy?
Okay, I'm ready.
North Carolina School of the Arts. Oh my goodness! Drum roll, please, because it's the StreamYard's doing its slow thing. Come on, come on! Well, I really wish Buddy Hepburn was here for this one because he had the name of all names for this one. So come on, we're teasing you. We're
I
teasing you very
know.
much.
Taking forever.
Yeah,
The
that's what we
fighting
do. So
okra.
yes, yeah, but this is not even the fighting okra. This one, come on, daggum. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's a pickle.
What? That's a pickle?
Yes,
Okay.
with an art
Why?
brush and a keyboard.
I know I got the French artist's cap and the keyboard, but you got a keyboard skirt going on there and a purple feather and you got a mask on and okay, that's just way too much. No, thank you.
I told you. That was one of the great impromptu streams we had that night. It was
I
hilarious
think
to
that's
see.
just too many ideas and they went with all of them.
Yes, exactly. A bunch of artists. That's why it's an art school. So, oh my gosh. Hey, folks. Well, listen, we have no other. Well, we do have a stream coming up this week. Everything works, pending we get past this storm, everything else coming up. But next Thursday will be the Masters. Which team the heck is represented by a pickle with a keyboard? Yep. We never know. But next Thursday, 8 p.m. is scheduled to be OC Dobbins, who's become the resident Alabama fan. He will be joining us. Big game of the week next week will be the Texas Longhorns at the Alabama Crimson Tide. So join us for that with him, part of that show next Louisiana University. So, yeah, this delay is getting old. But, yeah, hey, look here. AC Dobbins, Stage A. Hey, join us next Thursday night, 7 p.m. 8 p.m. on September 7th. Join us for that next football stream. We'll do something similar with that. Also, we're scheduled guests for yes, Daisy.
No more hurricanes, okay?
Yes, exactly. I agree. Although it goes through the end of November, but
Yeah.
So as you see, this week we have the great Daisy Blossom. Next week will be OC Dobbins. As you can see, there's some local people, some family that are in here. We got Anthony, B from O, Small Time Republic, back-to-back Auburn fans, MC Wally, JT Kirk on October 19th, Mark D with a C, October 26th, AFK Bard, Jane Theory, Whoopa Troopa, finished by Lorena Creole the week of the Florida State game. If you notice, there's 1 week we do not have a show. It's the week that we will be out up in the mountains. So, you know how that goes. Snort Poopa said Portland Pickles. And yeah, Masters had 2 hurricanes here last week. This one that's actually coming and kind of originated down there too. So
Yeah.
lots of broken. I'm sorry. That always sucks. That always sucks when they do damage. So that's the lineup for this season coming. Also, then remember, live streams of my videos are on Twitch and YouTube at Dadman Walking 55. You can find when I go live and find my tweets. Hit the bells, hit the notifications on both channels. But as a backup, follow me on Twitter or X. to find out when I do impromptu streams, especially tonight and tomorrow. I may do some more impromptu streams, Fortnite or whatever else I feel like, and as long as we have power, just kind of we'll see what happens. But make sure at any of these, and especially on Twitter, it is the at DadmanWalking55. Accept no other substitutes other than at DadmanWalking55. It may say DadmanWalking55. It may have an old avatar from Trilogy Terror. May have any other type of this. It may do whatever. But I am officially everywhere at DadmanWalking55. So there you go. So, oh man,
Sounds good.
yeah. And then Hillary brought me a dang flood in my house. No, I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
I got you too. I
We
got you
got
too.
rain and wind from Hillary, but we didn't nobody had any damage. It was sort of
Mm-hmm.
a dud by the time it got to us. But yeah, I know it hit other places quite hard.
Exactly, exactly. And Snore Poop is waving a paw, but as you do that, my friend, uh, Friday night, this Friday night, everything on schedule and everything else, if it all works out, we got the second of the Indiana Jones movies, The Temple of Doom, with
Yay.
Daisy again. Yay, we get to talk about this one, this classic.
Oh yay.
I know, I'm
I
not as
watched it
positive.
for the second time in my life so we could talk about it.
I'm not as positive about this one as a friend of ours talking about that Broadway dance number in the middle of it, because I'm like, Indiana Jones should not have Broadway in the middle of the friggin' thing. It should be some kind of dramatic scene like in 1 and 3 where they're chasing an artifact. I mean, they kind of had an artifact, but I don't know. Maybe it was just Kate Capshaw was annoying me. I don't know. But hey,
I don't know. Yeah,
jo-
that whole thing was there was a
join
whole
us.
center. Yeah,
Yeah,
next Friday. I'm shushing
join
now.
us. Join us this Friday night in 3 days for it at 8 p.m. We're gonna have fun with this one. Daisy's Blast. This is a week. This is a regular feature, but this month, we moved it from the normal last Wednesday because, well, we wanted to get the football game in because of Florida Utah tomorrow on Thursday night, and then with the storm, we just decided to do it night. So it's all been arranged. But this is our standing appointment on the last Wednesday of the month, which will actually be on the first. I just realized that it's on the first day of the next month. So we get to do two in
Correct.
September, Daisy.
2 in September.
Hey, all right. But hey, on that note, folks, I want to say we love you all. We leave this with 12 people still in our chat. That is
What
amazing. The
12
loyalty.
wonderful people.
The fact that you guys are staying here to the very end, to the credit scene, thank you so much, heartfelt from us, for the support
Mhm.
and making it worth it, and for coming and listening. And Daisy, you're a wonderful friend, and great to have you on here and talking with it. As we go out, we got Monkey Brains from Snortopoopus, and Castle said good night. Master said Indiana James and the Mall Morons, but absolutely, Daisy. Any final thoughts from you, my friend?
Other than to say thank you again for inviting me and thank you so much for chat. You guys just were hysterical and love ya.
Absolutely. And on that note, folks, everybody take care. If you are anywhere around Florida with the storm, batten down the hatches. It should be over
Yes.
tomorrow night. Hopefully, everybody comes through safe, sound, and everything else. Like I said, I may be going live tonight, tomorrow, as I can, just to have distractions, but we'll see what happens. But everybody, take care, stay safe, and thank you for your support. And we will see you Friday night if we don't see you sooner. Bye, all.
Bye.